in Tosca. In Tosca, you need not learn any programming language or any GitHub or anything. All you need is manual testing. Okay, and this is one of the major advantage of Tosca. And one more important thing is Selenium and all are open source tools. But coming to Tosca, this is a paid one. Okay, and you may ask me like, how do we practice? Coming to your practice sessions and all, to currently Tricentis is offering us 8 weeks of free license. This is all because of COVID. Earlier, it used to be only 15 days. Okay, so using this 8 weeks of license, whatever they are offering us right now, we can register and we can complete our practice also. So once you are done with the 2 months, okay, and then you may want to practice for some more time, then you can use the same procedure and you can register with a different email ID. Creating email IDs is all up to us. Okay, so that is how you can use the license that is provided by Tricentis. And this tool and all way to download and what are the URLs that all you need for certifications and all, I'll pass it in the initial classes. Okay, and coming to the classes, how I teach and all, every day it would be on the Zoom for 1 hour. Okay, and after the end of the class, I will show you the video recording through Drive with download access. And if there is some important points or important things that you need to remember, usually I will share the notes as well sometimes. Okay, I won't say that for every topic, for every day I will share you the notes, but for some topics which we forget or which we don't understand initially in the beginning days, this notes plays very important role. So that is when I share you the notes. Okay, and every day after the class I will share you this project file so you can practice in your own machines as well. So this is all about the course. Let us see what is automation testing and all now. Okay, and during our entire course, this is the website on which we are going to work. Not only this particular website, we will go through the other. Sometimes if we need some other example, we may go to amazon.in. Sometimes we will go to some other angular based applications. It depends. Sometimes we may go to some air services related websites. Whatever website is relevant to our topic on that particular day, we will try to go over there. But most of the topics are available in this website because this is developed by Tricentis in order to get us trained on Tosca. So that is the reason why I am preferring this. Even for the database testing and API testing, I'll give you the relevant things which you can practice on your own. Okay, yeah. So coming to automation testing. Automation testing is nothing but we are saying the tool like do something which we do as a manual tester. That means for suppose if you take if you want to click on this login button or register button that is here, okay, you have to go and say to the tool, go over there and click on this particular button. That is nothing but you are telling you should go over here. That is nothing but you will tell the tool go to this particular control, and this phase we call it as identification. So we have to identify our control so that we can tell the tool go to this particular control, and then after going to that particular control we are asking the tool to perform some operation on it or perform some action on that particular control. Either it could be clicking on that control or or else it could be taking some value of that control and verifying that value, or else it could be some inserting some value into that control, like we will input our name and all, right? So it can be any operation, but we will perform some operation, but before performing operation we will identify our control. So there are two phases in automation, that is identification and operation. Coming to this identification phase, in Tosca, we do this identification phase in a section called modules. These names might be different from you, and remembering these names is also terminology and all might be very different. But when you start progressing on Tosca, like when you are using it day by day, we always spell these names out in like every situation, right? So we get used to this. So don't mind about these names. Okay, coming to the identification, we do it in a section called modules, and similarly the operation is performed in a section called test cases. These two are very important sections. Okay, along with these sections we have some other also, like requirement section, issues section where we can manage our requirements, where we can manage issues. Okay, and some reporting where we can configure our reports which are being generated, and planning where we plan our sessions and all. So all these we will discuss in our classes. Okay, today in this demo we are going to talk more about the modules and the test cases section. In Tosca, if you observe, every section has its own color. So we call these based on the color also. Like you if you don't remember the name modules, you can call this orange section. And this one we call this as blue section, depending on the color. This is some easy to remember thing. Okay. And when let us first talk about the orange section, that is the module section. Identification. Can any one of you tell me what are the different types of elements which we will see in our day-to-day life? Like it could be a text box, any other controls?
Drop down checkbox,
Yeah, drop down, checkbox, buttons, tables, radio buttons. So these are some of the controls which we will see. So all these we call them as elements, controls, objects, whatever you call. Okay, these are the visible controls that you can see on the page. That means these are something which are visible to you. Along with this particular controls, our web pages will also have some list of invisible controls. Okay, and coming to these invisible controls, they may be like something like span, div, ul. These are all nothing but they act as the containers. Okay, how do you know these invisible controls? What is the difference between visible and invisible is every web page will have a DOM structure basically. If you press on the F12 button on your keyboard by opening a web page, you can see the DOM structure. Just click on these elements here. See, this is the DOM structure. Based on this DOM structure only, our Tosca will load these elements. And based on this DOM structure, we are going to identify these elements. Okay, I will show you how we do that and all. But before that, one more important thing that we have to remember is we now listed out different elements that we can see. And all these elements will also have some set of properties in them. Okay, and how do we know what are the properties that are available for that element? All by the DOM structure. First, let us take that. And just give me a moment. Okay. So if you take this particular register button over here, now I want Tosca to go and click on it. Okay. So I want to tell Tosca go and click on the register button. Then Tosca should know how can it identify that particular button. It should have some properties so that it will see which is the control which is having these properties. I should go to that particular control and then I should click on perform some operation on that particular control. That is how I can say the Tosca. In order to say this to the Tosca, I should know the properties of my register button. So in order to know the properties of this control, just to say right click and say inspect. When you click on this inspect, see in this particular DOM structure, you can see look at the properties of this control. If you look at the properties, see it has something called href and it has a class name that is ICO-register and there is some text here. Usually we call this one as inner text. Okay, there is some inner text. So using this set of properties, now what I will say Tosca, go to a control which is having ICO-register as its class name and inner text as register. Go to that particular control. Then Tosca will obviously go to my register button only. And then I will say after going there, perform some operation like perform an operation of click. So that is how I will tell Tosca go to this particular control and perform the operation. And this is where the DOM structure plays an important role. But in real time, we are not going to use this DOM structure at all. Don't worry about it. Okay, I will show you how do we do this identification phase using Tosca. So as I said, you modules is the section where we do the identification phase. In modules, just right click on the folder. Okay, and here you can see a small context menu and a mini toolbar. Okay, this part we call it as context menu, and this part we call it as mini toolbar. This is the actual toolbar. If you see, there is an option here to create a folder. In the actual toolbar also it is there. Totally it is up to you which one do you want to use. And along with these options, they will also provide you some shortcuts to remember. If you are good having some good memory, then you can remember the shortcuts. Usually these are also very easy. You want to create a new folder, right? The shortcut is Control N and Control F. That's all. So just click on this and name your new folder. And in order to scan our elements, all we do is right click on the folder, say scan and say application. And immediately now Tosca will load all possible applications that it can scan. Like it will list out all the applications that are open. If you see, this is my Zoom meeting controls. This is the application which I want to scan. This is my Zoom and this is my OneNote, sticky notes, folders that are open, notepads that are open, and my desktop screen. So Tosca will load everything. Among this, we have to choose which one do we want to scan. So this is the one I want to scan. So select this and say scan here. And now all I do is just press on this select on screen button and go to the control which you want and click on that. This is the one I want to perform some operation on, right? So just click on that particular control. So it will be selected. And now again, you can press on this particular select on screen again so that it will be disabled. Okay. And now look, these are the properties of the controls that I have selected. Just click on your control here. We call this window as XScan window. Okay, and if you click on the control that we have scanned now, you can see there are different properties that are available. These are some of the representational properties, these are the technical, and this is the transition properties. Okay, and usually we work with technical properties most of the time. And if you see ICO-register, this is the class name. This is what we saw in the DOM structure also, right? So these are some of the properties that see inner text, and it has some tag with A. So all the properties will get loaded automatically. You need not worry anything. And if you want, for suppose it Tosca has already selected some properties in order to make this control unique. Now I'm saying I want to make this control unique. Why? Because for suppose if you see here, there are two books here. When I am asking Tosca, go to a control which is having inner text as books, but still this one and this one may also have the inner text as books, right? So again Tosca will get confused, like it will get back to me with an error saying there are multiple controls found, on which one do you want me to perform the operation upon. So that's why always we have to make sure that whatever control we are working on, we have to select that particular control in a unique way. It might be by choosing different sets of properties or some other way. Okay, but you have to make sure that particular control is unique. So similarly, if you see here, usually Tosca will only try to identify the controls uniquely. Okay, automatically it will do that. When you say select on screen and when you selected this particular control, see, it already selected the inner text and the tag. I need not do anything. It is already saying that this particular item is unique. Sometimes it may not be unique. Then all I need to do is I need to select some properties here by just clicking on them so that they become unique. That's all. It can be any property. It can be visible inner text or it can be outer text, inner HTML and all. Okay. And all I want to make
I
sure
have
is
one question here. So for a single element, we can select multiple properties.
yes, you can select
So
as
then,
many
then
properties.
is it work? Is it work? Can you please like show the difference? We have two elements like books. So can you please demonstrate that how we
Yeah,
can differentiate both?
yeah, sure. See, again, I
Thanks.
just minimized, restored it, okay, so that I can see my controls. Okay, if I am not able to see my controls, there are some other options also. If I press on this, right, condensed view, see, my axis can went to here, so I can see all my controls. So this is also feasible for us. Now let us scan these books and let us scan these books and just press on this review items here. Come back to our main screen. See, it is saying this particular control is not unique. And if you see this is unique. It has selected some different, like see here, the inner text is capital BOOKS, books, okay. But here if you see, the inner text is having a camel case format, see, books. And it is saying there are many controls which are having the same set of properties. That's why this one is not unique. Okay, so in this case you can say like visible inner text or inner HTML or href. Okay, you can select as many properties as you want. See, sometimes they may not be unique after selecting all these properties also. So then we have other methods here, anchor, image, index and all, which you will get to know in the classes. For suppose, if I am not satisfied with the properties that I have, if I want to load more properties in order to make it unique, just click on this load all properties. See now, the number of properties that I can see have increased. See, I got these many properties. Now by using some other properties, I can make it as a unique control. It might be some other thing. And also when choosing these properties that you have, right, you have to make, there are certain standards that we maintain. Like we usually don't use the style properties that you can see here. Okay, there are certain properties which we choose. By using those properties only, we will try to make this control unique. If we are not able to do that, then we will try with the other methods that are available here. If you see this one, I'm not able to make it unique, right? Whatever property I select, it is not becoming unique. So then I have to use some other technique. Either it could be anchor or it could be index or it could be image. Okay, all these things you will learn in the next classes. Okay, but if you see this, with these properties only it has become unique, only inner text and tag. Okay, and you can change these properties also. For suppose I want this inner text to be same as the other one. See, I can just type it here and say okay. See, now it has become non-unique because now both of them are having the same inner text, right? So this is how you can play around. You should know some tips and tricks in order to manipulate the tool, and this is where we usually do all those. Okay, is your doubt clear? I don't know who asked. I'm sorry.
Yes, yes, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. And Satish, do you want me to show the radio buttons? Uh, uh, hello? Uh, nothing, no need. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is how you can scan various controls. Okay. Right now I'm just deselecting all this. I have registered as per our flow. So now if you see, I selected some extra properties also. Initially Tosca has selected inner text and tag. I selected class name and inner HTML also. It is totally up to me which I want to select. Okay. And once done with scanning, I'll just press on this finish screen button and I will say close. That's all. So now if you see in your Tosca Commander, this is the place where we usually work, and I already created some workspace and all so that I can directly take you in. Okay. But in classes, I will teach you how to do all this from the scratch. So if you notice here, there is a module that has been created. See, with our register button. And if you see, these are the properties which we selected in the XScan window earlier. See, class name, inner HTML, inner text, tag, visible. Only the ones which you select, those only will come up over here. The remaining will not come. Okay. This is how we achieve the identification phase. Any doubts or any questions in the identification phase? Not only the visible controls, you can also identify the invisible controls. I can show you that as well. Hold on. All I do is right click, say, okay, I will load this page and I will show you. So this would be helpful for us to fill all these details. So right click and say scan and say application. Choose the application you want to scan and say select on screen. Choose the controls: male, female, first name, last name, email, password, confirm password, and register button. Okay. And if you see here, right, for suppose if I have some control which is not visible, all I need to do is just pull this bar to this end. See, I can identify the spans, the containers which are holding these buttons. See, divs. The entire DOM structure has been loaded here. See, even including my header onwards, this is my body, and this is how it is. The entire DOM structure. Okay, I can quickly select whatever I want from here as well. Or else among these controls, I can search, like just to say search, or else you can filter, say filter, and here you can say load only invisible controls. See, it loaded only invisible controls, whatever I want. So see here, all divs and all, which are having the property as invisible. Okay, and here also I can say like load only buttons and all. So I can play around in this screen, which you will learn later. Okay, so these are some of the important things which we see. So let us automate the registration flow. That is the reason why I have scanned all these controls. Okay, and if you see here, see, look at the properties. Tosca has already selected the ID and the tag. Okay, sometimes I can just let it be. It is fine, right? Already it is unique. I don't have any issues. Then why do I much worry about it? Sometimes it's okay. So I'll just say finish screen. I will just check and I will say finish screen. I need not work hard. Okay, and close this. So it has scanned everything. Okay, and now let us come to the second phase, that is operation phase. Okay, and in this particular operation phase, this is nothing but where we will tell Tosca, go and do this operation on this control. If you see, we have one register button on which Tosca has to go and click on it. Similarly, there are some other fields here where it has to do some operation. Either it could be selecting the radio buttons or it could be entering the values and again clicking on this register button. So this can be achieved in the test cases phase as I already told you. And even here it is the same. Right click and you will have the mini toolbar and the context menu. In the mini toolbar, just select the folder option or else you can directly click on here. It is totally up to you. And the shortcut remains the same, Control N, Control F. Click on this and say demo. And in this, in order to perform, what are we doing? We are testing, right? We are doing an automation testing. And what do we have in our automation testing or manual testing? We all have some test cases. And these test cases will have test steps in it. For suppose if I am saying validate the registration functionality, your test steps would be open the particular URL, click on this link, click on enter all the details, click on the register button, verify the success message, click on logout. So these are some of the test steps which we will write as a manual tester. So similarly in Tosca also, right click and say, see there is an option here, create test case, or else you can choose this from here as well. The shortcut for this is Control N, Control T. So click on this. So it will create a new test case for you. Now I will say validate registration or else validate register functionality, something like this, which we do as a manual tester. And here I'm working on my test case, right? So I'll move it to in work. Whenever I change this work state, there is a small black color icon, right? That will change. So see, when I say in work, it will change into horizontal. Okay, and in this registration, what is the first step I want to do? I want to open this URL first of all. Okay, so if Tosca has already provided us some certain standard modules or internal functionalities they call. Okay, and using these functionalities, we can do certain operations. Like it could be taking a screenshot, opening a file, or else copying a file from one folder to another folder, or else creating an Excel sheet. There are so many standard modules that we have. Okay, in this folder, if I expand all of them, right? See, these are all different standard modules that I have, like database, coming to database, open connection, running SQL, Here in HTML, open URL, close the browser, clicking on screen. So there are, so we have to make use of all of this. We need not write any coding and all for all this. Okay, all you need to do is you have to know the name of this standard module and the place where it is. And it is sometimes it might be hard to all of us to remember the folders and all where it is, right? So at that time, all you need to do is click on your test case and see here there is a plus icon. The shortcut is Control plus T. Click on this. Immediately this one will open. Just type here open. See, using open, these are the different standard modules that are available. Not only standard, these are the modules that are available when I am saying open. So see, I have open URL. Just select this. And here there is an option value, and here I have some action mode. What are these action modes is? See, coming to the operations that we perform. Again, these operations, same as we categorized our controls, visible and invisible. Similarly, the operations can also be categorized into different types. Mainly, it could be read and write. Okay, and the list of operations usually what we can perform is usually we can input some data, or else we can verify whether that particular data is same as our expected value or not. Similarly, we can store something from there and keep it into some variable, or else what else we have, we can select on some controls. Okay, like if you have some branch structures and all, you can go to the first node, select that, and inside that second node, third node and all. Okay, or else you will have some action mode such as constraint. Constraint is nothing but where we use in tables, instead of where clause you can say constraint, like it will filter it out. Okay, so these are different action modes that we have. These are the operations that we can perform, like all our operations can be categorized into these, like you can put them into these. So these are known as action modes in Tosca. See here, you will see input, insert, verify, buffer, wait on, select, constraint, all this. Okay, input and insert both are the same, but why do we have two is insert we usually use it only in the APIs, and the input is mainly meant for the normal UI testing. In API, you cannot use input, you all you have to use is insert, and in normal testing, we cannot use insert, all we have to use is input. That's the only difference between them. So now, let it be here, okay? Usually this action mode also will come up defaultly, okay? Sometimes we may need to change it, okay? Right now, what is the URL that I want to open? It is nothing but demowebshop.tricentis.com. So just copy this particular URL value and paste it here in the value box. This is what I will say. So now I have one test step. See, there is an icon change between test case and test step. So in this test step, I am saying open URL, and this is the value that it has to do. And after opening URL, it has to click on the register button, right? I have it in this module. So select this module, okay, and just hold your left mouse button and drag it and drop it onto your test case. See, this module came up here. So this has become a test step. What is that I want to do? I want to click. So here you can see a small drop down. Click on this and see, you can find the option. Just select that, click. This action mode came up automatically. See, okay. So now after clicking on the register, what is the next step that it has to do? It has to fill out the values for us. So drag this module, the last one, and drop it here. And now here it has to click on female. So again, small, click, and first name, I will say it as Oreo, and last name something like this, so that this will become unique. Okay, at gmail.com, something, some dummy value I'm passing. Okay, and password, paste at 123. In password, if you notice, there are two data types. Not only in password, even these fields have data types, but usually we don't bother about the data types and all. Okay, I'll show you the difference between password data type and normal string data type. See here, when we are choosing string data type, you can see the content. But if you are selecting the password data type, the particular password has been encrypted and it is masked. Like you cannot read it out. That is the only difference. It is again totally up to you. Choose any data type that you want. We usually don't work with data types and all also. After filling the details, I want to click on the register button. So select click here. That's all. You are done with your automation. What I will do is I'll close this entire browser. I need to say Tosca, do this automation in Chrome browser, right? So here, if you click on your test case, see there is an option, test configuration. Click on this. Right click on your test case. Okay. There is a purple color icon. Create test configuration parameter is the tooltip for this. So click on this parameter. Okay. And here in the parameter, just to say it as browser. And in the value, just pass Chrome because we want to perform this in Chrome browser. Okay. You can choose any value like Internet Explorer or Firefox, anything. Okay. And just to say right click and say run. Or else you can click the same option here for run. Or else the shortcut is F6 button. Run. That's all. It has started execution. See, it opened the URL. It clicked on register now. And now it will fill out all the values. See, I'm done. And see here there is a green color that came up. And these are the results. I'm just saying right click and here expand all. And see, these are the execution results. Everything is green, which means everything has run successfully. This is how easy to work with Tosca. Any questions? Any doubts?
Ramya, the data
And
type for the click
where we can,
option gave us string, right? For the click, the data type was not uh, changed. Should it be string or it will not be?
We need not worry about the data types at all. I just showed you the difference between password and string. That's all. Everything will come up defaultly as string only. Let it be like that. You need not worry. If you are having any specific case, until now I never used any data type. Sometimes for dates and all, you can choose date, or else if it is numeric, you can choose numeric. It is again up to you. You need not worry at all.
Okay, so this data type need not to be changed.
Nothing.
Let us
Let
see.
it be like string only.
Okay. So now
But
that
there is
we have already created the open URL and demo web app web shop, right? So this one you can reuse in the other test cases also.
yes, for suppose if I want to use it in a different test case, just go and just drag it again. You can drag it as many times as you want. Or else you can copy this whole test case, okay, and paste it again. And this time I can change the values. Like if I don't want to use this, delete that. Now after clicking on register, I want to do something else. So add those other steps here.
So if I want to run the same test case for the different data, um,
Yeah, usually, what happens here is like initially while teaching in the classes also, for all of you, I will show you the first hard coded and the happy flow. Whatever I have shown you now, right? Similar flow to this will be shown in your first week. So once you are comfortable with this, and then I will take you to the next level, that is loops, reusable blocks, business parameters, and all. That is where you will understand like now we have hard coded our data, but in real automation testing, we are not going to hard code. We should be able to pass different sets of data, and every time I cannot change my email ID. I should use some random numbers or some other thing over there. So all these tips and all these techniques will be taught in your next level. And once you are comfortable with that level also, then we will move to the next level, that is taking Excel sheets and test sheets. Okay, we have something called test sheets here in the red color section. Okay, where we will use them as the data sources. So use from this particular sheets, Tosca will start fetching the data, and using that data it will run the test cases. So we will go level by level.
Okay, and can we view the test results?
Test results.
Yeah, so now it has executed one test case, right? So whether
Yeah.
it is pass or fail, like how do
So
we need to know?
usually we will have the verification also, right? I did not include it here. Okay. So there are two types of executions in Tosca again. We executed right now in Scratchbook. What is Scratchbook? Why do we need it? Is Scratchbook is only for temporary basis. It will not store these results. Okay, we have another section here which is in green color. We name it as execution. In this execution, you can see the logs and all for all the test cases that you have run. Okay, this is the section where you can pull the reports. Usually it will be something like this. Let me open it in a new window and dock it here. Okay, something like this.
So
See?
now you have run the test, right? That report will not be
Yeah,
stored here.
we can run it from execution also. Just drag this test case, drop it onto the execution list. Okay, see, an execution list has been created. Just run it from here. I want to, one second, I will log off some pre I'll close my browser. I'll run it from here. The same shortcut F6 works here. Oops, I'll pause this execution. I need to change my data. I hard coded it. I'm sorry. Okay, I will close the browser once again and I will run it again. See now, here if you notice, you can see the previous log. I cancelled it, right? So you can see execution has been cancelled. So similarly, you can see the other log also. Just click on this and see you have two logs here. Okay, and in this log you can see clearly what is the data it has filled and what is that it has done, what are the test steps and what are the times that it has taken. And I can pull a report on this execution also. Okay, all I say is right click and say print report. There are different types of reports again in Tosca. Okay, I'll show you one sample report. And here, reports can be of different formats. It totally depends on you. Usually, we use the PDF format. Say start. And it will ask you some name for your report. Say sample and save it. And now it is asking, do you want to show only failed test cases and all? I don't have any, but I will say no here. It is asking me, do you want to include screenshots? If we want to include screenshots, it will ask you, where do you want to include it? In between or in the end as a whole? So you can choose this. Okay. Once done, see, this is the sample report that I have downloaded now. See here, execution report by so and so person, and how many test cases we have run. Out of that, how many are passed, a pie chart describing the same. And here you can see the data type here plays an important role in the reports. If you are choosing password, you cannot see the password. If you choose the data type as string, you can see the value here. This is a sample report.
Ramya, actually, like how many applications we will be working in this session in
uh,
1 month?
in 1 month we cover all the scenarios within demo web shop application, and there are some scenarios from Angular based application which we will move to other one, and sometimes we may go to Amazon also. It depends on the topic that I take. Like if some people don't understand the topic in demo web shop, then they may ask me to go to other as well, right? So then I will work on that and I will show you in the class.
Okay.
And what topic you will cover?
The topics and all, right? Whatever I'm going to teach you, is present in my website, that is toscatrainings.com. It says it is not secure, but there is no payment gateway and it is secure only. Don't worry. So if you go over here, you can see the course content. Okay, the introduction topics and the overview, the requirements, modules, test cases, what are the different things that we cover and all. Just go over here and go through this. And these are the normal facts which I came across all these days. So I just placed them. So this is one website which we created, and you can just go over there and you can have a look. That's one. I'll ping you this website here.
You are teaching us API testing also, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Once we
Ramya,
complete with UI, we will go. Yeah.
you are
Ramya.
teaching in SAP application.
No, not SAP.
Okay.
Hi, Ramya. Amar here. Actually,
hi.
whatever the course syllabus is already covered in Tricentic's website through different certificates like AS1, AS, TDS1, TDS2.
Yes.
Then then hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Then what is the difference in our classroom training?
Okay. See, actually, if you go to this AS1, AS2 and all, you can see all the differences. For suppose, they will tell you how to scan a control, if I am not wrong. Okay. But if you take Amazon.in as an example, okay, there will be so many products that you can see, or else let us go here only. Okay. Here, if you are, will you hard code all these controls? Like when I'm saying go and scan these controls, can you hard code all these controls? No, right? Because every day, if you take in the real time working example as an Amazon, the products will change. Either it could they can change their price, or else they could change their name, or some products will go out of stock, some new products will come. So we cannot hard code our controls basically. So you have to make sure that you are identifying them generically. Like how to, we should know how to manipulate the tool. Okay, and this particular how to manipulate the tool and how do we work in the real time, you will not get that in the trainings that are provided by the Tosca, sorry, by the institute there. Okay, they will show you how to do and how to do, but in real time it is totally different. We are not going, and there are certain folder structures, certain things that we have to maintain, okay, which will not be taught by Tricentis in your certification courses.
Hi, Ramya.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Ramya. I have a challenge here.
I can, yeah, please go ahead.
The thing is, like, since it is not open source, many companies will prefer like Selenium is since open source, they can prepare with Selenium. And I do understand here we no need to learn about any coding skills we don't want. But large scale, I have researched on it. In very small, very few companies will be having this tool.
Yeah,
Right.
actually, I say it openly to everyone. If you are comparing Selenium job openings with Tosca openings, yes, Selenium has more number of openings compared to Tosca. Selenium
Yes.
is used by startup companies, MNC companies, every company because it is an open source tool. Tosca is a
Yes.
paid one. So obviously startups will not use it. Okay, most of the
Yes.
startups will not use it. I cannot say that they won't use. Okay, and that is the reason why there is only a chance of getting a job in MNC company. This is one secure thing as an employee for us. And the second benefit what we are going to get is the number of competitors for Selenium are very high compared to the people who know Tosca. This is the second benefit. Okay. And the third benefit, people who are working on Tosca and who are having certain good experience on Tosca are very less in the market. Okay. So this is the reason why all the interview questions will be coming from a single set of circuit. Like they keep on asking the same interview questions in all the companies. Okay, I usually hear to the interviews that my previous students attend. They will send me the voice recordings and all. Okay, so that I can review the interview how they have performed and all. So usually hardly I can hear one or two questions which come out of the circle, but most of the times they will be inside the circle whatever we know. So this happens only with when people are having limited set of knowledge. But if you go to Selenium, it is a huge ocean. Java is like, I don't know what to say also. They will keep on questioning you in different aspects and all. So again, in Selenium, you have to learn Java, programming language, GitHub and all. So it is again up to you. But competition is very less here compared to Selenium. But job openings, Selenium is having more number of job openings. But there you will have a job in startup or MNC, but here you will have a secure job in MNC. And the package is also very high compared to Selenium. Accenture itself, if you know anybody from Accenture, you can inquire about them. Like they are having Tosca in their hot skill tier 1 or something, where they will pay you some 1 lakh or some amount for 3 months or quarterly or half yearly basis they used to pay. I don't remember those things now because I used to get it when I'm working with Accenture earlier. Okay, it is one of the hot skill. Recently, my two students who got into Accenture, they also are updated their skill knowledge so that they would get their hot skill bonus.
I agree completely with you. But the thing is like, currently I'm working as a quality analyst in Wipro. I do with manual test cases. I'll be using with RPA.
Okay.
I don't know. Frankly, I don't know anything about like Selenium. I'm just learning with a few modules and things. I don't know
Okay.
anything about Tosca. When I asked with my friend who is working with the Selenium automation testing in Accenture itself, they told that he told me that I never heard about Tosca. What is the use of Tosca? And it will be even. I'm
Okay.
just
Just ask him if he heard about Bank of America project.
yes.
That's what I
Please
can
don't mind.
answer. No
Yeah,
problem.
please
Ask
don't
him
mind.
if he had an experience with Bank of America project and ask him how
Okay.
vast is the Bank of America project with Accenture and how many people are working in Bank of America. I can give you only one example. And DBS right now, which is one of the competitor for Bank of America and JP Morgan, even it has migrated to Selenium. Sorry, Tosca. I'm sorry, from Selenium to Tosca. So even now
Okay.
I'm getting people from DBS.
When I attend an interview,
Yeah.
an interviewer asks, "So what is your previous experience regarding this?" I will say I will do with this kind of thing, and I
Yeah.
did certification in Tosca.
Yes.
My, Currently my package is very low, below the it is like 2.5, and
Okay.
if I switch to other domain, if I switch to other company with the same, I got an opportunity call where they will be giving 100% hike. Since my
Okay.
package is very low, they offered me like 100% hike. But I don't want to sit in the same domain. I'm just looking at a new domain. See what kind of the guidance you'll be giving for the interview. Like,
See, what I say coming to package, the least and the minimum hike that they are offering for a people who are having Tosca experiences 35 to 50%. One guy who lost his job, okay, in the 2019 November month is one of my student, okay, and he got trained in Tosca in the month of September till October end, and he attended the interview and he cleared the interview in recently in the December month and he got placed. Okay, and earlier his package was something around 4, I think 4 or 4.5. Okay, and he worked in a BPS domain, not in IT also. And now after
okay,
completing the training, he got a package of 10 lakhs. I don't know how to calculate these percentages and all much. So it's up to I think everybody can understand, right? So this is what he got. He did not show any fake documents and all. All he said is like in BPS also he used to work with Tech Mahindra only. So he said like I'm having experience in testing instead of saying that I have experience in BPS. He said it was testing, and he could clear the interview and he got placed in HSBC with LTI as his main client. Like LTI hired him for HSBC client.
okay. So that's good, and I will not deviate this session because others will be getting deviating from my question.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay,
Any other
I'll
questions?
call you once.
Yeah, sure. And I'm asking everybody once again, please do provide me your contact details in the chat that is available here so that I can share you the video recording of this session. Okay. And some people who have attended using different names or something through this Zoom, please do provide me your name and the contact details in the chat window. You can just ping it only to me instead of sending it to everyone.
What will be our batch timing?
Batch timing, there are 3 batches. One is in the morning 8 to 9. Second one is in the evening 8 to 9. The third one is in the weekends. Weekend timing, I'm not yet sure. I need to figure it out once I form my batch. Any questions, any doubts?
No.
If not, then we can stop the session.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your interest. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I hope I can see you all
Thank
in
you.
the classes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.